And we're back at it. So now we're going to jump into the first question that we have when it relates to your target market. Who are they? You might be asking yourself, I don't really know. Who are they? Well, I'm going to give you a couple of techniques that I use to really figure out who your perfect target market is. There are 4 ways that you can start, and this is the order that I do them in. So the 4 ways that you're going to perform your market research: number 1 is observation. Number 2, social listening. Number 3, competition. And number 4, just ask. You're going to learn a little bit more about who exactly it is that you want to reach with your products or services. So let's dive on into observation. This one might be the most obvious, but it's so often overlooked. There's clearly going to be a certain person that you see purchasing or asking about your products or services more often than others. Is it teen girls or college girls? Is it young families, parents who are working in a career and trying to balance a family? Is it moms of toddlers? Is it pregnant women? Is it single guys? Or maybe it's the elderly. Beyond the need, you also have to look at who is actually buying and asking about your product. Now, here's an important tip, and this is one that I overlooked to begin with, but there are actually 2 target markets for many businesses. What does that mean even? It means there's a target market that wants your products or services, and then there's your target market that actually buys your services. Now, this isn't for every single business, but let's say you own a backpack company and you're selling backpacks to teenagers. Well, the chances are the teenagers want the backpacks because they're trendy and cool, but ultimately you need to appeal to their parents. Besides getting the teens on board, you need their parents to say, yes, that's something I'm going to buy for you. So that's what I mean by having 2 target markets. My next favorite, and this one is awesome, is social listening. That might sound absolutely crazy to you, but what social listening is essentially listening to what needs are arising on the internet. You may be asking yourself, what is social listening? Basically, social listening is using social media and advanced searches in order to find out exactly who your target market is and a little bit more information about them. I'm going to share my favorite tools for how to do so. That is the Google keyword tool, Facebook searches, the Twitter advanced search, Instagram search using hashtag, by properly leveraging Facebook groups, and Facebook audience analysis. So we're going to look at every single one of these steps and how you can actually implement them. They're all a lot easier than they sound, and I'm excited to teach them to you. So let's take a look at how to use social listening to find your target market. The Google Keyword Planner is amazing for finding your target market. What kind of phrases are they using? What kind of keywords are they using to search for the products or services that you offer? So we're going to go ahead and look up the Google Keyword Planner. Sometimes people call it the Google AdWord tool. That works as well. So you'll do this by clicking on the link and then signing in with your Google account. Now, the Google account is just what you use for your Gmail account or for using Google Places, Google Maps, Google Hangouts. You get it. And when you go to Tools up here at the top, you'll see that there's the Keyword Planner. There are a couple of different ways that you can look for keywords or key search phrases. One of the ways that I like to do it is to search for new keywords. And you can just type them in right here. You can add your landing pages to get ideas. This is a great place to start. From there, you're going to want to go to the Get Search Volume, and you're going to enter those keywords that you found in the Get New Keywords, unless you already have keywords or phrases in mind. So let's say I want to find people who are interested in social media. And you enter 1 per line. Small business, social media. I'm wonderful at typing when I'm thinking. Okay, make sure that the targeting says United States. You're going to want to search on Google. And then negative keywords is important because in here you can enter keywords that you don't want to search for. So for example, for me, I don't want people who are looking for free social media marketing. That's just not how it works. And then get search volume. You're going to be able to see how many average monthly searches there are for the exact terms that you're looking for. So for example, for social media marketing, there are 22,000 average monthly searches, but the competition is also incredibly high. The goal is going to be to try to find different keywords that have a low or a medium level of competition. That means less people are fighting in that same space and a decent amount of monthly searches. Even 200 monthly searches with a low competition is going to do really well. Now, for the social media marketing search, obviously there are quite a few monthly searches, but the competition is really high. And my guess is there are a lot of people on the first few pages that are constantly fighting to stay on the first few pages of a Google search. Let's dive on into what it looks like to use social listening on social media platforms to discover where your target market is. So let's say I'm a graphic designer and I'm looking to see who is searching for graphic designers. This is the best way to socially listen. When you look at Facebook, you can see that there's an option here to search Facebook. So I'm going to think of how my target market is looking for graphic designers. Usually people don't use the word hiring unless they're offering a job, but let's say they are looking for a graphic designer. And the reason I put it in quotes is if I want to look up those exact words, it can make it a little bit easier to search through the results. And hit enter. You can sometimes find it in the top results, but sometimes that's a little bit hit or miss. So I like to go into latest, and you can literally find people who are looking for graphic designers. Isn't that crazy? I bet you didn't know that existed. Look at this. Graphic designer, looking for a graphic designer, looking for a graphic designer, and it goes on and on. And these are just the results from the last few hours. So this is one way to directly find your target market. Now, I could send this person a message right now and say, hey, blah, 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 blah. I offer graphic design. I saw that you were looking and I'd love to offer you my services. That's one way to look for it. Another way would be to possibly add them as a friend, but I don't recommend that route. But just sending them a message, and it will usually alert the person that you've sent them a message and that they need to accept it. That's one great way on Facebook to find people. Now, another way, the same can also be done on Twitter. Up here is the advanced search option. So looking for graphic designer. And then there are a couple of different ways to sort through it. Once again, you can do the top. You can go to live. Live is a great option. And then there are also more options that you can select here. So you could do from people you follow, from everyone, or even picking searches near you. Sometimes that's nice if you want to work with people locally. But you can see right here there are people who are asking for graphic design work. I also like to look on social media such as Instagram, but on Instagram, let's say you sell children's apparel. Well, we happen to know that moms are going to be the most likely purchaser. So if you look at the top posts, you can see that there are some great posts with pictures of moms, pictures of their kids, and you can start to learn a little bit about what it is that they're posting. So mom life is a great hashtag for finding the exact posts, the exact things that find the interest of moms. Is to search through the groups that you're a part of. This option right here Another great way to find your target market is to look for people who are looking for graphic designers within the groups you're a part of. There are some huge masterminds that I recommend. There are some huge groups. So let's say you go into, I'm going to do the Freedom Hackers Mastermind because there are 27,000 people in this group and it's very active. This is a place where people are constantly looking for graphic designers. So over here, you're going to see a search box. Type in the search box looking for a graphic designer, or you can find different ways to word it. Now, if you look through the results within the group, you can find people who are looking for graphic designers. It's literally a way that you can just plug your services, but more importantly, you can find where your customers are. I highly recommend joining a couple of large groups that aren't just networks of spamming. You'll see that time and time again. But this is a group that I highly recommend for finding projects. This is a great group. Look for groups that have an active admin, and then you can find the people who are looking for the exact services that you offer. Now, LinkedIn is a little bit trickier for trying to find those types of posts because it doesn't give you an option to search through the updates within your feeds. But if your feed is small, you're able to find the opportunities. But I actually recommend looking at jobs. But sometimes there are jobs in here that are for freelancers. So freelance graphic designer. And I'm going to remove the location so it could be nationwide. And you'll see here there are a ton of opportunities for freelance graphic design. This is perfect for anyone who is offering services. Now, the last step in social listening is to take a look at your Facebook audience insights. Now, I don't think that this is available to everyone. I think it's only available to those who have over 1,000 likes on their Facebook page, or if you have over 1,000 traffic visits from unique visitors within a certain amount of time. So log into your business manager and click on the page that you want the audience insights for. This has changed recently, so if it looks a little bit different, that's why. Go up into this left-hand corner and hover over Pages. If you hover over All Tools, you're going to find quite a few different options in here, and Audience Insights is what I want to look at. Now, the last step in social listening is to take a look at your Facebook audience insights. Now, I don't think that this is available to everyone. I think it's only available to those who have over 1,000 likes on their Facebook page, or if you have over 1,000 traffic visits from unique visitors within a certain amount of time. So log into your business manager and click on the page that you want the audience insights for. This has changed recently, so if it looks a little bit different, that's why. Go up into this left-hand corner and hover over Pages. If you hover over All Tools, you're going to find quite a few different options in here, and Audience Insights is what I want to look at. Audience Insights is brilliant. So when I look at the people who have liked my page, I can learn a little bit more about the type of people that they are. It just takes a quick moment to load. And then down here, I'm going to go to Pages and click People Connected with My Page. But you can learn a little bit about them by going down to lifestyle. Are they single parents? Are they career-minded individuals? It looks like the majority of my audiences are lavish lifestyles, apple pie families, and then a couple of other assorted demographics. It looks like 55% of my audience is married, 70% have college experience, and then I can also dig into what their job titles are. You can also take a look right here at your web traffic audience if you've already created an audience for it within the ad manager. Now, something that's important to remember is just because these are the audience insights that you're currently seeing doesn't necessarily mean it's your target market. So for example, for me, my target market for social media marketing is generally speaking small business owners who are male and between the ages of 50 and 65. But if you see here, 95% of the people who like my page are women. That's interesting, and it shares with me that there needs to be an ancillary market. So that's a good way to kind of get an idea of who you're currently attracting and if you need to change things up a little bit. All right, learn from the competition. This is one that I feel a lot of people are actually really good at, but they don't yet realize it. So when you look at your competition, you know that there are 1, 2, maybe 3 competitors in your arena that are top-notch. Maybe they're a little bit larger than you. Maybe they're a little more powerful than you. I don't recommend looking at the big, massive players. For example, I would never compare myself with HubSpot because while they are a marketing service, what they offer is so intense. It's very expensive. It's aimed at big businesses. So don't look at those really, really big players. If you have a clothing brand that you like, if you have a clothing brand that you are selling, don't compare yourself to Zara or Nordstrom. It's just not the same. So when I say learn from the competition, I mean find 2 to 3 competitors that are kind of on the same playing field as you, but have a strong game. So look at their social media following. What kind of people are you seeing following them? Is it young adults? Are you seeing teenagers? Are you seeing elderly people? Is it mostly female? Is it mostly male? You can learn a lot just by looking at who has followed them. And then take a good look at their website. What is the messaging trying to relay? Who is it trying to reach? Are you seeing lots of slang on it, or is there a really glam feel to it? Take a look at your own messaging through this process as well. Are you using a messaging that resonates with your target market? What types of people do you see interacting with their brand? This is the most easily seen on social media. So one way to do this is to go to advanced searches and look at their social media, find out who it is that's reaching out to the brand, who it is that's liking their Instagram photos. This is easily done just by clicking on who's liked it and then going in and looking at those profiles. And this step is a little more obvious, but are they shouting out to a certain demographic? Hey moms, or hey single ladies, are you a single man with no expenses? There's sometimes a very, very obvious shout out. Now, I'm not saying that what the competition does is necessarily perfect for your business, but I'm saying you're able to kind of learn a little bit about the target markets that you could have as ancillary markets as well from their messaging. Just ask. This one is so funny to me because a lot of people are scared to ask their target market a little bit more about themselves. This is so easy, but basically you're going to want to ask them. Now, you may not be interacting with your customers face to face, and not everybody has the ability to find out what their customers like if you don't have an email list or don't keep track of your customers. But you can do market research in communities. For example, if you're a part of a Facebook group where there are 20,000 people and most of them are probably in your target market, ask a question that is non-sales related. You can ask a question or create a poll in a Facebook group. For example, you could put, hey business owners, which of the following challenges do you find the most frustrating? And then put 3 or 4 challenges that you offer a solution for. As you see people vote, you're going to know, okay, these are my business owners in this group. And then you can learn a little bit about what it is they're looking to. And then you can do a little bit of Facebook creeping and find out more about them. Now, if you have friends who are potentially in your target market, not close friends, because close friends have a hard time not being biased, but if you have friends on Facebook or on LinkedIn or in in-person communities, don't be scared to reach out to them. Ask if they could give you 5 minutes of their time just to fill out a quick survey, and then compensate them with like a $5 gift card or maybe even an in-store, online store credit. It's a great way to kind of learn what it is that their pain points are, and then obviously you can ask more questions about who they are. Email is king. Do you have the email addresses of your customers? If you do, don't hesitate to send them a little survey. People love filling out a really short survey if it's posed in a great and respectful manner. I like creating these with Wufoo, which is an online web form. And basically, you're just going to ask a couple of questions. Or it can be as simple as adding a couple of fill in the blanks into your email body and then saying, reply directly to this and let me know what your answers are for a prize. It's very, very easy. So what are some examples of the type of information you'd like to get from your target market? Well, obviously, you probably have a couple of ideas, such as gender, age group, but from there you might feel like you aren't quite sure what else you could possibly learn. So I'm going to give you a couple of ideas. And as you go through the worksheet on this module, I want you to really take the time to think about who your target market is. Spend some time researching, but then if you don't know the answers, fill them in to the best of your ability. So here we go. Geographical location, gender, age, family status. This means married, kids, etc. Potentially religion, their interests outside of your brand, their priorities, as well as their job title or the industry that they work in. Not every single one of these topics is going to be perfectly applicable to your business, but it might be. So the more specific you can get with the type of targeting that you want for your target market, the better. You can always branch out and you will always attract outliers, but it's really good to have an idea of who this person is. So get specific. Fill out all of these different answers. I want you to come up with your target market. Take action. Can't wait to hear the results.